Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Fit Premises Act, Renters' Responsibilities. Now, the Fit Premises Act spells out some of the responsibilities of a renter. The lease spells out the rest. So by no means is the list that I'm about to go over the complete list. It's just the one articulated in the state statute. Anything else your rental agreement tells you that you must do, generally you're required to do that as well. So let's go over some of the responsibilities of tenants. The first responsibility is that you keep your payments current, that you pay them according to the lease, on time according to the lease, and that you're responsible for any late fees, any other fees, any damages, any utilities that you're responsible for. So that's the number one responsibility of a renter, is to stay current. Number two, cooperate allowing regular maintenance. It is in your best interest as a renter to allow landlords to regularly maintain the premises, including inspecting, including checking smoke detector batteries, including changing furnace filters. So renters need to regularly let their landlord or the maintenance crew maintain the premises. Third, comply with Board of Health rules. You can't be a hoarder, okay? You can't invite cockroaches and bed bugs and harbor rats and things like that. Obviously those are extremes, but you need to comply with the Board of Health rules. Next, you need to keep the place in a clean and sanitary condition. Now again, that is subjective. You're going to have to work that out between the landlord and yourself, but landlords, if they think that you're not complying with that and you're violating a provision, can serve you notices. Next, dispose of garbage properly. Don't leave it in the yard. Don't have junk accumulate in the yard. Don't have vehicles parked where they shouldn't be parked. Next, use property as designed or zoned. So for instance, I know of a tenant who thought that the little hook on the ceiling was for hanging his clothes, and so he used the fire sprinkler to hang clothes, broke the little glass, and 150 gallons of water a minute came into his apartment. So again, don't use things to hang things on that aren't designed to hang things on. Don't use appliances for things that they're not designed for. Don't put metal pans in microwaves and things like that. It should be pretty obvious. And then zoning. If it's zoned a residential area, you can't conduct a business out of a residential area. So don't have friends coming and going all day long buying computers. Don't have any business activity going unless you have the consent of the landlord and it's properly zoned for that. Next, comply with the rental agreement. As I mentioned, the state statute covers a few things. The rental agreement covers a lot more of the renter's responsibilities. No intentional damage. State law says it's illegal for you to intentionally damage a landlord's property. It might be a criminal act. And so be careful that you don't do anything to intentionally damage. We hear of cases where tenants, out of spite, do things. It always comes back to bite them, sometimes criminally, but oftentimes just as a large judgment against them that follows them around for years, and their wages and their bank account is garnished because they did something that they shouldn't have to a landlord. And then last, follow the occupancy standards. When you move in, there will be on your lease a list of occupied occupants. You might have a 5-bedroom home, but there's 2 people authorized to be there. You can't move people in without the landlord's permission. This is not a right of tenants, and it's your responsibility to comply with the lease and not move people in without the landlord's permission. So in the next segment, we're going to talk about what renters' rights are, what they do if landlords are violating their responsibilities and not fulfilling their responsibilities. But if you have any questions, contact the Apartment Association or take one of our great classes. Thank you.